So, hello everybody and welcome. Hola todos y bienvenidos.
First of all, my name is Maritza.
Yo soy Teacher Chris con Open English.
Hi guys, welcome back to our class today, our second class of the day here on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and we are now connecting to Instagram as well. So we are back here as usual with our second class, 100% in English. So thank you everyone for joining. Looks like we've got some people connecting here on Facebook now. Our friends on Instagram are connecting as well. Hasman85, Alonzo, Berto is with us as well. Just in time, as I am going to share some of my best tips on how to incorporate English into your everyday life, So remember, this class is 100% in English, a little more conversational than maybe our first class today, but you guys can practice your listening skills here with me in English. Hello, John. All right, Roy Lamparetta Sanchez, hello, nice to see you. Elsie, welcome. Mirna, hello there. Andro, good afternoon. Welcome back to our class. Okay, Pat Petit with a firework sign. All right. Alexia Gomez, hello. So tell me in the comments, how was your weekend? Tell me here in the comments. Remember, you can participate here in the comments. So tell me, how was your weekend? My weekend was it went by really fast and it was not really anything special to report here. But what about you guys? Tell me about your weekend. Ricardo from Jopal, Colombia, nice to see you. Okay, Inge Carleto from Tijuana. Okay, let me see. Moragnava, are you referring to price? Remember, we are currently in promotion with Open English 2 for 1 for all of my friends in Latin America. So buy one course, get the second one free. And if you need more information about Open English, the course, prices, how much it costs in Colombia or how much it costs in Chile, how much it costs in Mexico, send the word profe here in the comments. Profe here in the comments. Rosa, nice to see you. Eduardo, nice to see you here as well. Okay, so looks like you guys had a busy weekend. My weekend was relaxed. Felipe, those are the best kinds of weekends. My weekend was exciting. Oh, I hope maybe that's maybe some good news or you did something exciting. My weekend was not the best, but I feel good. And I agree with you. I feel you on that, as we say in English. Not the best weekend. I'm not going to look back on this weekend and say, wow, that was great. But yes, Andrew, same old, same old. Okay, excellent, everyone. So if you are here connected, remember, this is a 100% English class for listening practice where I am going to share some of my best tips on how to incorporate English in your day-to-day life. And also, before I forget, 2 things. Number 1, my name is Maritza. I always forget to introduce myself in these classes, but I am from the United States. And here we have our live classes on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram every day with either Teacher Chris or myself. So welcome to our second class. And number 2, if you guys need to know your level of English, if you aren't sure what level of English you currently have, you can take a free test with Open English. So send the word test here in the comments, T-E-S-T, test in the comments for more information about how you can take our free English test. Okay, Pat Petit, I want to speak just like you. Well, let me share some tips then. All right, Roberta on LinkedIn says, my weekend was good. I spent time with my family. Awesome. Maria Alejandra had a good weekend here on LinkedIn as well. So glad to hear that, guys. So our first tip of today, Belen Godoy 7. Send me greetings, please. Hello, greetings to you in, not sure what country you're connecting from, but greetings. So tip number 1, to incorporate English into your everyday life. So create smart goals. Create smart goals. So in English, we have something called SMART goals. This is an acronym. So it's a series of letters that represent different words. This is really important. I think a lot of people say, I want to learn English, or I want to speak like a native speaker, or I want to be fluent in English. But that's only half of the plan. Of course, we have this goal. It's a very broad goal, but we need to break it down into SMART goals. So what does SMART stand for? A specific goal. So saying I want to learn English isn't very specific. So how do we make this a specific goal? A measurable goal, an achievable goal, and R for SMART goal is oh my gosh, I can't believe I just forgot. I had this in my relevant, yes, relevant goal. So how is this going to help me? And T stands for time bound. So in how much time do I want to do this? So while it's great to have a goal that, yes, you want to learn English, let's break it down into smaller goals that you can apply to your everyday life. Okay. All right. Let me see here. I'm picking up on your comments here on LinkedIn. Pedro, welcome. Beatriz, welcome back. Jorge, nice to see you here again. Okay, John, teacher, I want to be in Open English. Remember, if you need more information on signing up to Open English, send the word Profe here in the comments now. Profe here in the comments now. So remember, number 1, to incorporate English into your everyday routine, create SMART goals. Try and have specific goals. And I think even daily goals are important. Have one small goal per day. So once you start having a lot of small goals, that eventually builds up into your overall large goal of learning English. So for example, small goal for Monday, learn 10 new words in English. Small goal on Tuesday. I'm going to learn 3 new phrasal verbs, for example. All right, so create SMART goals. Tip number 1. Okay, Vanessa, I don't know any English. Can you teach me? Of course. In Open English, we have a level or our course is designed for all levels, from very beginner levels to more advanced levels. So send the word Profe in the comments for more information to sign up. All right, tip number 2. Create a routine or involve English in your current routine. All right, first time here, I would like to know the best app to improve my English. Por favor. Best app? Open English app, of course. So let me talk about a little bit more about our second tip here. So when we think about creating different habits, or if we want to learn a new skill, we often have to create a routine. We need to have a specific time that we're dedicating to develop this skill. So we can create routines or involve English in your current routine. So for example, if you want to lose weight, you need to go to the gym. And have a routine. Okay, every day I need to go to the gym. Remember, I always use this comparison. If you go to the gym just one time per week, or once a month, or when you remember, oftentimes you're not going to see the results that you want. You're not going to see the results you want. So remember, we need to create a routine and be consistent Laura Val 27, where am I from? I am from Michigan. All right. Or involve English in your current routine. So for example, I have certain habits during the week or every day that I always do. For example, I always wash the dishes. Dishes, for example. So what can we do? How can we incorporate English into washing the dishes? Listen to an English speaking podcast. Or if you are driving to work, can you listen to a podcast? Or if you are on the subway, if you are on the bus, listen to music in English, listen to a podcast. So these are everyday activities where it's really easy to add English into this part of your routine. If you're just connecting now on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, I am sharing some tips on how to incorporate English into your everyday life. Okay, so involve English in your routine. Or for example, if you get stuck in a TikTok black hole, try and watch some educational language videos. So you're in this habit of swiping, but make it all about English. Watch some English videos, look for some tips in English. So these are different ways that we can involve English in our current routine. All right, so friends here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, don't forget you can create new routines or involve English in your current routine. All right, so tip number three is one that you guys have actually shared a lot here in the live sessions, is change the language setting on your whoa, I always do that. I always almost fell here on Instagram. Change the language setting on your phone. So I think many of us today, we are glued to our phones. We always have our phones. So there's no better way to start reading or kind of interpreting, following instructions in English than changing the language on your phone. Really a really easy tip, but very important. So think about how many times you're looking at your phone each day. There's no better way to start looking at your phone consistently when it's in English. So change the language setting on your phone. Okay, Eliani here on LinkedIn. Hello, welcome. All right. Yes, Santi, that's a great observation, a great kind of learning to share with our friends here. So the only way to learn is to start listening to everything in English. And obviously, when you start, you're not going to understand a lot. That's a really key point. Is that when you're starting to learn a new skill or a new language, it's going to be difficult. Of course, you have to spend time. You have to be consistent. It can be frustrating that you're listening, but you don't really understand. But with time and consistency, you will start to kind of, as we say in English, put the pieces together. You will start understanding more words, understanding more phrases. Okay, we've got another recommendation here. They recommended that I watch the series Friends, that they speak a little slower in Friends maybe. And Friends, you can pick up on pronunciation, native speaker pronunciation, or even the different kind of humor that may not be the same in your country. So Friends is a great series. A lot of friends of mine said that they learned a lot of English watching Friends. Watching Friends. Okay, Joshua, don't forget if you need more information about the Open English course, so you can take live classes and interact with native English speakers like myself, send the word Profe here in the comments. Profe here in the comments to begin. All right, Darling M. Mendez Acosta, hello, welcome. Hope you are having a wonderful afternoon. Okay, number four. My fourth tip to incorporate English in your daily life. I'm going to drink a little bit of water. I felt a cough coming. Okay, so tip number four, find a partner to practice with. Find a partner to practice with. Okay, Negra Delgado Guerrero says, around me, nobody speaks English. I can't practice. Okay, I have a couple of solutions for you. If maybe you don't, in your friend group, maybe you don't have many friends that speak English. Okay, so number one, of course, Open English, the Open English platform, there are live classes available 24/7. So you can join a group class and speak with other people that are learning English or with the teacher. You can interact at all times of the day on the Open English platform. So you'll always have someone to practice with in Open English. Another solution. Okay, Pat Petit says, find a new boyfriend, an American boyfriend. That's how I learned Spanish. My Spanish significantly, it improved significantly when I met my husband. So it's an unofficial tip. That's a good way to practice. Another way is there are actually on your phone. I have given this tip a lot, using Google Translate to practice your pronunciation. So you can type different phrases, listen to phrases on YouTube, for example, and practice repeating them. So it doesn't necessarily have to be always speaking with someone. You can practice by yourself. But of course, it's more fun to practice speaking with someone. So that's why you should sign up for 2-for-1 in Open English. So you can practice with your best friend. Okay, let me see. I practice English with my girlfriend every day. I met her at work. We work at a bilingual call center. So yes, we practice as much as we can. Andro, it's really a good tip. It's an effective tip to find a partner that speaks in English or someone you can practice with. But don't forget, these things here, these cell phones, are great ways to connect with people around the world. Use Google Translate to practice listening and repeating what you hear, practicing in the mirror. So it can be strange, it can feel strange, but you can practice in the mirror with yourself, kind of watching how your pronunciation is, the movements of your mouth, different ways to practice. And of course, in Open English, we have live classes. No pre-recorded classes. They are all live classes with native English speakers. Okay, and tip number five. I think, Pat Petit, I would agree. In today's world, English is the best skill you can acquire. Really, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of English. Let me see. Negra Delgado says, okay, I'm embarrassed to speak in English. In like a Spanish speaking world. I think that's really common for a lot of people. And I think that in my experience, the people that I have taught or my friends, oftentimes this Spanish speaking world, you guys are the harshest critics. You guys are very critical of your own skills. But really, I have total confidence that every single person that is connected to this class is capable of speaking in English, and chances are you are even better than you think you are. I think this is a lot to do with the psychological component of learning a language. Okay, so tip number 5, I think this is pretty general, but find different ways that are enjoyable, different ways to incorporate English that are enjoyable to you. I think sometimes when we think about learning English, we think, oh, learning English, I have a book, I have a pencil, I'm doing exercises, I'm memorizing the verb to be. So boring. But that's not the only way to learn English. There's music, movies, series, different podcasts. So find something that you enjoy. Maybe you like reading a lot. Read in English. And you will learn that way as well. You don't just have to be involved in formal classes to learn a new language. Okay. Oh, I love this. This is inspirational. From AF Chad 99. You shouldn't be embarrassed. It's incredible. It's incredible when you can learn a new language. I think that's important. That if learning English was easy, and if everyone could do it in 30 days, we would all speak English. The world would be completely bilingual. But it is a challenge. It's a rewarding challenge, but it is a challenge. So don't get discouraged. Feeling embarrassed is normal. I felt the same way learning Spanish. I hated speaking. I hated how my own voice sounded. It was terrible. But once you get over that embarrassment, you'll only accomplish great things. Okay, let me see. I'm never shy. Never get shy to speak. I really don't care. I just want to improve it. Okay, Papati, that's kind of the attitude you have to have. I want to study English so that it's enjoyable for me, that it's something fun, and you really have to say, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I am doing this for me. So, again, learning English doesn't only have to happen in a formal classroom setting. There are lots of different activities you can do to improve your listening skills, your speaking skills, your reading skills that aren't super formal. So find something that works for you. Okay, Dilia Perez says, I feel shy. That's okay. It's normal. It's normal to feel shy or to feel like your English isn't good enough. But really, learning a new language is not easy. It's not, I'm not going to lie here to you guys. And it's a process that takes a long time. But there are different ways that you can go about kind of putting English in an important kind of level in your life through different activities. Okay, let me see. Oh, I dream in English. And since you tried to, let me see. I'm trying to translate this into English here. Okay, so they made fun of you and you kind of shut down, and now you can't even formulate questions. Bequita, my best advice is, number 1, find a friend. Find a friend that you can practice with, that you feel confident, that you know is not going to make fun of you, but has the same goals as you. That's important. And so you can kind of recover that confidence that maybe you lost, that kind of has you almost traumatized. Or practice by yourself. Practice by yourself in the mirror. Practice with your phone. Practice with Open English. The idea is that you can find an environment and a person that you feel comfortable practicing with to build up that confidence again. Okay, Elu de Leon, hello, nice to see you. So let's quickly review our tips to incorporate English into your daily life. Number 1, Create SMART goals. Remember, the big goal is to learn English, right? But we need to make small goals in order to accomplish these big goals. Okay, so SMART goals. So remember, they have to be specific, measurable, kind of time restricted. These are SMART goals. I have an interesting question here. An interesting question. Pat Petit, teacher, what do you think could be the reason why I'm unable to understand songs if I don't see the lyrics? I have to see it to get some comprehension. Pat Petit, I think that music is a great way to learn English, but it's difficult. It's difficult because there are a lot of elements. You're listening to a rhythm, you're listening to different beats, to different sounds, and trying to understand what they're saying in English. I'm going to tell you guys something as well, something extra. Music in English isn't always grammatically correct. It doesn't always make sense. It kind of, they put together lyrics that sound good with the rhythm. So that can be even more confusing. If you're listening and it's something that doesn't make sense but sounds good, that could be another reason as well. The same thing happens to me listening to music in Spanish. I have no idea what they're saying, but when I look at the lyrics, oh, yeah, that is what I'm hearing. But your brain is trying to process a lot of things at the same time. So it can be challenging in that way with music. The good thing about music is that it's repetitive. It repeats, it repeats, it repeats. So you can practice repeating the same lyric over and over. Okay, so tip number 1 was create SMART goals. Specific, small, measurable goals. Okay, number 2, create a new routine or involve English in your current routine. So let's say you're driving to work. Instead of listening to your favorite musical group in Spanish, put something on in English. Or let's say you're exercising, or I don't know, I don't think people exercise with podcasts. Let me think of a better example. You're cleaning your bathroom, you're making your bed, you're washing the windows in your house. Listen to a podcast. Listen to a podcast in English. Open English, we have a podcast. We have a podcast working on season 2, but you can listen to our podcast where we speak in English so you can practice. So these daily activities that you do every day, try and incorporate English into them. So try listening to something in English, or before you go to sleep, instead of looking at Facebook, watch a YouTube video with English tips, for example. Okay, number 3, change the language setting on your phone. Change the language setting on your phone. It's a simple, easy, quick step to start looking and reading in English. Number 4, find a partner to practice with, someone you feel comfortable speaking with, so you can work on those skills, or you can find different ways to practice by yourself. Of course, in Open English, we have different types of live classes you can also participate in with native English speaking professors. Okay, audiobooks work as well. Spotify works too. Yes, absolutely. All right. And number 5, make sure that your learning process is fun. Make sure that it's not a process that you hate, that you don't enjoy. I think lots of people, they think, if I want to learn English, I need to read the dictionary, but I don't enjoy it. If you don't enjoy something, you're not going to be consistent with it. So, really important to find a method that works for you. So that's the good news about Open English, is that we have different activities for different kinds of learners, for audio learners, for visual learners. We have lots of different tools to help you not only learn English like vocabulary, grammar, common expressions, but to actually practice. This is so important. I can study every word in English, all the vocabulary in the English language, but that's not going to help me speak in English. Only practice and conversation and interaction will truly make you bilingual. So be sure to be practicing English on a consistent basis. Okay, so those were my tips for my friends here on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. I want to thank everyone for joining. And remember, in Latin America, we are currently in promotion with we have our promotion 2 for 1. Buy one course, get the other free. So if you are interested in receiving more information on how you can get started in Open English, send the word profe here in the comments. Profe in the comments. PROFE in the comments for more information on how you can get started today. Don't forget, we also have our free English test, our free English leveling test. So you can discover what level you actually have so that you can develop a study plan after. So if you need to take our test, send the word test in the comments, TEST, for more information. And remember, this class is recorded, so I will upload it to our social media pages with links so you can find more information as well after our class. And we will be back here tomorrow. We are here every day, Monday to Friday, with another class. So Teacher Chris will be here tomorrow to talk about some vocabulary. So tomorrow is a vocabulary class with Teacher Chris at 11 a.m. Okay, Ruth, nice to see you. All right, thank you to everyone who joined today. I hope you guys maybe learned a new tip, and I hope to see you guys all in tomorrow's class. All right, take care, everyone.